Jenny and Jimmy were twins and were they excited. They had just completed kindergarten and because they did so well were going to the big zoo in the city. After they got into the family car's back seat, Mom checked their seat belts and Dad said, "If everyone is ready, let the journey begin." They were off and headed to the big zoo in the city. The big zoo in the city was a long way from home. It wasn't long before Jenny and Jimmy were bored. They were so excited and just wanted to see the animals, even get some peanuts, popcorn and soda, but it was taking so long. "Are we there yet?" asked Jimmy. "No," his mom replied. "It will be a little while. Why don't you and Jenny look out the window and count pine trees?" Jimmy looked at Jenny and then tried to look out the window, but they were too low in the seat to see anything. Jenny grumbled, "Dad, we can't see out the window. Are we there yet?" "Yeah, are we there yet?" Jimmy sang out. "We are getting close." Mom chimed in. "Why don't you both sing a song? That will help pass the time." "Okay," Jenny said. Then she leaned over to Jimmy and whispered something in his ear. They both smiled and giggled a little as they faced the front of the car and began to sing. "Are we there yet? Are 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 we there yet?" Their dad looked at their mom and said softly, "I don't know about you, but I am glad we're here." Then in a deep voice, he sang out, "We have arrived." Jenny and Jimmy giggled. Jimmy and Jenny had such a fun day. They visited every animal, had fun in the petting zoo, and ate hot dogs, popcorn, and peanuts. Soon it was time to leave. Mom got their seat belts on and they were headed home. "I hope they are tired and fall asleep," Dad whispered to Mom. "Are we there yet?" Jenny giggled in a soft voice. The tooth fairies and the cleaner factory. Deep in the new forest where no big people ever went, there was a tiny little magical village called the Odom Gardens. Here 3 little tooth fairies named Incisor, Canine and Molar were busy at work in their factory. The 3 tooth fairies were all named after types of teeth. Incisor was tall and skinny with short pink hair. Canine was also tall with blue hair, and Molar was the short, wise one with curly silver locks. All day long, the busy little fairies cleaned and shined the children's milk teeth they had collected during the night. The milk teeth were used to make very useful things in the Odom Gardens, like roads in the village and furniture in the homes for the little fairies. One day, Incisor realized that the teeth coming into the cleaning factory were not as strong as they used to be. "Oh dear," said Incisor, "these teeth are fragile and brittle, with holes and black spots. They crumble As soon as I polished them with my clothes. Whatever are we to do? Yes, said Canine. I know exactly what's wrong. The children are beginning to eat far too many sweets and are not looking after their teeth at all. I know we can fix it, said Molar, the wise one. She sounded quite excited by her grand idea. The three fairies looked at each other and waited while Molar explained all. As usual, it was a fabulous idea. The three of them wasted no time at all and got to work straight away. That night it was Canine's turn to fly off and collect all the milk teeth from under the sleeping children's pillow. Off she flew with a bag of coins, some white berry sandwiches for her lunch, and a pack of cards which the three fairies had spent all afternoon preparing. It was such a treat to leave the forest and see the city skyline, but it was a dangerous place for fairies. Canine had to make sure that the big people never saw her. She flew through the starry sky and saw the wonderful city fast asleep. Her first stop was a young boy named Junior. Earlier in the night, Junior and his mom had placed his milk tooth under the pillow. Mommy tucked Junior into bed and told him all about the tooth fairy who would leave some money in exchange for his tooth. She gave him a good night kiss and left him to fall asleep. By the time Canine arrived, Junior was fast asleep. She flew in through the top window that was ajar and glided quickly down to Junior's pillow. She perched beside him and braced herself in preparation for the task. Heave! She lifted the pillow and wedged herself between the pillow and the bed. She quickly grabbed the tooth and tossed it over to her backpack. She placed 2 coins and the fairy's special card in exchange under the pillow and flew off into the night sky to find more milk teeth. In the morning, as soon as Junior woke up, he remarked under the pillow to see if the tooth fairy had left any money for him. He was thrilled to find the coins, but looked blankly at the card he found in his hand. Mummy didn't mention anything about a card. He wondered. He read the card out aloud. The Tooth Fairy's Guide to Healthy Teeth. Number 1. Eat healthy. Number 2. Cut down on sugary sweets and drinks. Number 3. Brush your teeth twice a day. Number 4. Use a fluoride toothpaste. Visit the dentist regularly. Back in the village of Ordon Gardens, the fairies were very happy about the new information card they were given to the children. Soon enough, the milk teeth coming into the factory were strong and healthy. James, his sister Sally, and Mark, their BFF, best friend forever, were bored. They see the ball. They didn't want to go inside and play a game because it was a beautiful springtime night and they liked being outside, especially after having to play inside all winter long. They just didn't know what to do and it was a little too early for them to go home. I guess I just go home, Mark said in a sad voice. "Ah, come on," replied James. "We still have time for another game of something." Then Sally said, "I have an idea. Let's play hide and seek." "I was just going to say, Dad," James said. "Yeah, I bet," replied his sister. "You always say you were thinking of whatever I think of," she snapped. "Do not," James said in a loud voice. "Do," yelled Sally. Mark just looked down at the ground and shook his head from side to side. "They are at it again," he mumbled to himself. Then he yelled, "Okay, let's play hide and seek. I be the seeker." He turned, faced a big tree, closed his eyes, and started counting out loud. 100, 99, 98, 97. Sally and Mark stopped arguing, looked at each other, and ran off in different directions to find a hiding place. In the distance, they could still hear Mark counting. 4, 3, 2, 1. "Ready or not? Here I come." Then he turned and began looking for places where they could be hiding. Finding Sally was easy. She always ran off and then circled back, so she would be close to base, the safe place to get to before being tagged. Mark looked for the biggest tree and ran towards it, but she wasn't there. "I'll bet she's behind that big bush," he said to himself. So he ran to it and was ready to tag her, but she wasn't there either. As he turned around, he saw James running towards base and darted after him just before he touched James' shoulder. James tagged the base and yelled out, "Safe!" "Did you get Sally yet?" James asked. "No," said Mark. "I haven't been able to find her and it's getting late and we need to be heading home." So both boys yelled out, "Come on out, Sally, it's late." But there was no reply, not even a little snicker from somewhere in the darkness. They yelled again, "Come on out, Sally, it's late." They began to worry and started searching for her. As they walked around the area, they called out, "Sally, come on, we give up. You're safe." But no matter where they looked or how much they called out, Sally didn't answer. It was as if she disappeared. Sally was wondering what had happened. All she could remember was crawling under the big trunk of a fallen tree to hide. Now, as she looked up, she saw several stars through a small hole above her head. She had fallen into a hole when she crawled under the tree trunk. "Help!" she yelled, and her voice echoed throughout what must have been a cave. "Help! Help! Help! Help!" "Did you hear that, James?" Mark said excitedly. "Sally just yelled for help." "Keep yelling, Sally," James screamed. "That way we can find you." Sally heard her brother and kept screaming. After a short while, the boys were standing next to the big tree trunk. "Hey, are you stuck under this tree?" asked James. "Kind of," Sally yelled. "Will I right here with you. No, you're not, Sally sobbed. You're up there and I'm down here. As Sally turned in the darkness of the cave, she bumped into something, screamed, and began to cry. What's wrong? James yelled. There's something down here with me, Sally replied in a shaky voice. Just then, Mark and his dad came running through the woods. Mark's father knelt down and asked Sally if she was okay. He could hear her crying and sobbing. Sally, are you hurt? He asked. No, she said, but I am scared and there is something down here with me. Stand back, Sally. I am lowering a rope and will be down with you in a second. Mark's dad tied the rope to the tree, found the hole under the tree trunk, wiggled a bit and lowered himself into the cave. Sally could see him coming down the rope and stopped crying. Not only was he dead, but the cave became brighter from the beam of his flashlight as it danced across the cave's floor and walls. As he reached the floor of the cave, he shone the light on Sally and gave her a big hug. Don't be frightened, he said. I have you out of here in no time. Then he shone the light around and saw that she had fallen into a small cave, and very close to her, in the middle of the cave, was something wrapped in layers of old blankets. Mark, James, there's something down here. I am going to tie it to the rope, and I want you to pull it out. Okay, they replied. The boys pulled out the object, untied it, and let the loose end of the rope fall back into the cave. The cave wasn't deep, and Mark's dad boosted Sally over his head so she could crawl out. He then grabbed at the rope and with a little jump was able to grab the opening and pull himself out. Let's go back to my house for a cup of hot tea. I'll call your parents so they aren't worried, and we'll see what treasure Sally found, he said. When they got to Mark's house, they sipped their tea and began unwrapping the treasure. They carefully peeled off layers of old blankets and cloth to reveal a wooden box. They slowly opened it and stared in amazement. Oh my, Sally said in disbelief. I don't believe what I am seeing. The boys and Mark's father just stared. Inside the box there were jewels of every color you could imagine. There were diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds of all shapes and sizes. Intermixed, they could see several gold coins and strands of pearls. We are rich, the boys screamed. Not quite, interrupted Mark's father. Someone could have lost this, and I don't think you should plan on spending any of it until we find out a little more. Besides, Sally found it. I share it, Sally said happily. That's nice, Sally, replied Mark's dad. But the right thing to do is contact the authorities. The next day, the and Sally's mother drove to the police station, explained what had happened, and gave the treasure to the police to hold while they conducted their investigation. They left the police station sadly, and even the double-dipped ice cream cones Mark's father bought for them didn't make them smile. They drove back in silence. Several weeks passed with no word from the police. Then one evening, Mark's father called James, Sally, and their parents. The police just called, and I think you should come over right now. He said, I am afraid there is some bad news about the treasure. The police are on their way and will explain everything when you get here. Sally and James didn't say much during the ride to Mark's house. Sally thought that since it was bad news, the treasure belonged to someone else, even though they probably lost it. Whatever happened to finders keepers? She mumbled. What did you say, Sally? Her mother asked. Oh, nothing, Sally replied. Then she let a long sad sigh that echoed through the car. When they arrived at Mark's house, the police were there with a treasure box. As Sally entered, the captain introduced himself and said, Sally, this is yours. Your parents need to sign some papers, but the box and its contents are yours. Sally, Mark, and James shrieked with joy and danced around the room. Then Sally said, What is the bad news? The captain smiled and said, The treasure is worth more money than you can imagine, and with your newfound wealth comes great responsibility. Sally didn't quite understand what the captain was talking about, and right now it really didn't matter. Mark asked, Are you going to share? Of course, Sally said. If you and James didn't help me, I might still be there. Several days later, Sally asked everyone over to her house. I have decided what to do with the money from the treasure after it is sold. She said, I am going giving 1/6 to our mom and dad, 1/6 to Mark's mom and dad, 1/6 to Mark, 1/6 to James, and 1/6 for me. There is an extra 1/6. Mark proudly stated he loved maths and was right on top of Sally's scalpel. The Amazing Invisible Tiger. Sophie and Ashley have a new friend. His name is Baba, the monkey. Sometimes he can be very naughty, but he is a really nice monkey. Today he meets two new friends. Sophie walks with Baba down the street towards Josh's house. Well, Sophie is walking, but Baba does not walk. He likes to run and jump and do cartwheels down the pavement. Sophie knocks on Josh's front door. No answer. I wonder if Josh is in the garden behind his house, says Sophie. Baba is still doing cartwheels on the pavement. Come on, Baba, says Sophie. She and Baba walk around to the garden behind Josh's house. No Josh, but Sophie hears Josh's voice. She looks up his Josh, shouts Sophie. Josh! For once, Baba stops running and jumping and doing cartwheels. He stands still and looks up at the window. The voice from Josh's bedroom stops. There he is! Josh pops his head out of his bedroom window. Hi, Sophie, says Josh. Who is your new friend? This is Baba, answers Sophie. Do you want to come out and play? I can't, says Josh. I have a problem in my bedroom. What is it? Asks Sophie. She and Baba both look up at Josh. I have an invisible tiger in my room. What? Says Sophie and Baba at the same time. It's true, says Josh. Come on up. The back door is open. So Sophie and Baba go through the back door of Josh's house. They go upstairs to his bedroom. Sophie knocks on Josh's bedroom door. He opens the door and says, Quick, come in fast. Sophie and Baba go into Josh's bedroom and he closes the door quickly. Sophie says, Josh, this is Baba. Baba, this is Josh. Then she asks, Why do you have to come in quickly? I don't want the tiger to escape, answers Josh. Sophie and Baba look at each other. Then they start to laugh. Josh, says Sophie, are you sure you're okay? There's no tiger in here. Suddenly they hear a roar. I am Lexa the tiger, says a voice. Sophie and Baba are scared. They jump back. Their mouths and their eyes are wide open. See, says Josh, there is a tiger in my bedroom. And not just any tiger, says Alexa. I am a special tiger. Why are you special? Asks Baba. And how do you know you're a tiger? Says Sophie. We can't even see you. Don't make her angry, says Josh. She is already in a bad mood. Lexa roars again. Josh and Sophie and Baba all take a step backwards. They are scared. So you want to see me? Asks Lexa. Watch this. And suddenly there she is, standing in Josh's bedroom. A very pretty tiger with beautiful stripes. Sophie and Baba and Josh all say, Wow, Lexa is pretty but she is not happy. Why are you in a bad mood? Asks Sophie. Because my paw hurts, answers Lexa. Let me see, says Sophie. Lexa puts out her paw and Sophie holds it. Sophie looks very closely at Lexa's paw. I think I see the problem, says Sophie. It's a thorn. A thorn? Asks Lexa. I can help you, says Sophie. She has small fingers so she can easily pull out the thorn. Is that better now? Asks Sophie. Yes, answers Lexa. Thank you so much. So now there is a new friend on the street. Sophie and Josh are so excited. They want to show their new friend Lexa to their other friend Tom. They hope Lexa does not become invisible again.